Um, I think we're supposed to start with a prayer again still, right?
Mhm.
All right. Does anybody feel inclined to volunteer? Say it. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and say it.
I can say it again, or I said it last week, but
Oh,
I can say it again.
if you want to.
Sure.
Okay.
Our Father in heaven, we are very grateful for this opportunity to gather together and to learn together. We pray for thy spirit to be with us, to guide us and help us to um, find learning that we wouldn't find on our own. We pray for these things. We ask for thy spirit to be with us in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Okay. So, um, the first, the first thing on the agenda to talk about, is it's on the agenda. It's basically the same exact questions that it said to ponder about on the activity instructions.
Hmm.
From your personal experience, what have been key behaviors in effective teams?
So for me, from just getting from things from another case study and from a reading, I thought communication was pretty big.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I I agree. I ironically too, I've had friends, a couple friends and family that have worked for Google and have worked in the teams there, and I've seen a lot of the things that they do there. They do a lot of team building exercises at Google companies. Like what one of my cousins who I was rooming with for about a year, he's working for Thumbtack, which is a Google company, which is basically the exact same thing as Google, but when you search stuff, what you're searching on the search engine is businesses instead of just anything. It's particularly like if you need a job done. But anyway, so they were always doing team building things. They had monthly, actually bi-monthly, so every 2 weeks they had group massages together. They went to jazz games at least once a month. They went to jazz games together. They did lots of team building things.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting, but rather like pretty cool at the same time that
Hmm.
they do that. And I know a lot of different companies do similar team building type things. Like my brother just started with a partnering company with Google called Lucid, and they're always doing the same thing. They have a certain allowance that they get. They get to um, go and do team activities outside of the office, which is what the article, the case study was talking about. A lot of effective teams do actually get together outside of just work. So
I found it interesting though that that wasn't like at the core, you know, because I've done. I've never worked in an area where there were teams, but I've done different like school situations. So like I worked. I didn't work. I was at a conservatory of music, and you have individual training, and you also have group training, and so you do classes together and as a team, and classes on your own. And some of the classes, like you'd go and do group building things, but it just didn't build the group. Like it didn't matter what you did, and it was because of that thing that they identified about the communication, like Nat was saying, um, the shared. There was a phrase they used that just killed me. It was talking about dividing up the speaking time.
oh yeah,
Did you get that
equals.
part? Like
Yeah.
what was it called? Where they were like had even proportion of the speaking time and the empathy. And that was what I pulled out for me when I was thinking about that, when I wrote my ill-fated paper thing. To me, the biggest influencer of how communication goes is empathy. If you have people that are talking but don't have empathy for each other, it usually devolves into fighting or backstabbing or politics.
Yeah, I'm the job that I work for. I work full time, and I'm in a group. I used to work in office, but that was in Washington, and then I got married and moved to Utah. And now I work remotely from home, so it's a little bit harder to be like really a part of the team. But I've been a part of a team for a while. We don't quite do as many like team building things, but I feel like our team is pretty effective. We do have good communication, and and I'd say one of the biggest things is respecting the other people. I don't think in any of our team meetings we've had to really like stop other people from interrupting, because I think it's just kind of been unspoken that that we do share time, we listen, we don't like criticize or anything like that, and it's worked out pretty well. I feel like everybody's pretty friendly. We still chit chat about different things about our personal lives, and we get to know each other, but we also like are able to stay focused and not like be rude, not like I said, just to me the biggest thing is respecting each other. So
cool. It's interesting how these things like all kind of go together.
Definitely.
Communication, kindness, respect, they all definitely reflect a certain type of person. Certain way of thinking, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there needs to be a good median, because in the Google case study thing, it talked about would you like to be a part of Group A or Group B? And Group A is super pointed, like very organized, stays on topic. If somebody starts to go off topic, then they kindly remind the group to get back on topic. And I think being a little bit too far that direction is kind of a bad thing, because then it doesn't allow for conversation or ideas.
Definitely. But on the other side, if you have, because I've been in groups where we just get to talking and the time limit was gone and we hadn't even addressed what we're supposed to do, nothing got done, and then everybody's panicking at the last minute, and we were never very efficient. I mean, those were obviously school groups, not business groups, but I think the principles are kind of the same.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on to the next topic here. What do group norms have to do with effective team building? What would you say our current group norms include, unspoken and spoken? Are they healthy group norms? If not, what can be changed?
Excuse me. I think the group norms are kind of what we've been talking about, like what expectations you bring to the group as an individual. Like group norms are the attitudes of the individuals that create the culture, I guess is the best way to put it. I don't know. I don't know how to explain that. Like, I get it. It makes a lot of sense, but I don't quite know how to say this is what a group norm is, other than it's a culture that develops between people.
Right.
Do you guys have? Yeah.
It's kind of hard to tell, because this is only the second time we've actually
yeah.
decide what's normal, a norm between us. But I feel like our very first meeting went really well. We chit chatted a little bit, but then still got everything done in a timely manner. So
Yeah. My only fear is that I'll talk too much. Because I get nervous and I start going on, and I'm verbose.
well, me too. That's kind of what I do. I don't like awkward silences. So if nobody's talking, then I start.
Yeah.
But, what do you think, Natalie? What about our group?
Well, let's see. I don't know. It's kind of hard because we just kind of hang out. But it's like what she said. Like we talk and stuff, but we still get our stuff done. So that's good. So, yeah.
There was something you said in the reply that you posted. Was it you, Natalie, that posted?
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, there was something you said there that I really liked. Whoa, that is not my business class. I don't even know where that came from. 1 second. Okay.
And it's also like we kind of don't like. I feel like once we get like more meetings, we'll get more in the hang of it. I think that's what I put.
Yeah, totally.
So do you guys feel like our group is healthy?
I think it'll be more healthy if we. I think we just have to get used to each other, and then I feel like we could. I don't know. Like I feel like I'm pretty reserved, so I don't really communicate as much because of that. But I'm pretty sure like once we get to know each other a little bit more and like share things, like we'll get healthier. I feel like you can't really say that when we just have like this is our second meeting.
Yeah, it's really hard to judge. This is what you said when that really hit me. It was in the comment where you said it's very important to have communication and that we all give a part to the team. I think that's where that like the vulnerability and healthy attitudes come in when we're all giving and not just, part of the group giving and part of the group taking, or one person that's kind of riding and not really giving to the rest of the group. I think it kind of drags it down and makes it unhealthy. But we obviously do not have that. So I'm not too worried.
Yeah, and now that you said you're a little bit more reserved, I honestly didn't really pick that up from last time because I thought job leading to the discussion, so I didn't.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I think it's different when it's like just on like the computer and it's not like really like real life. I mean, this is real life, but you get what I'm saying, not face to face, like in person.
Yeah. There's definitely something more intimidating about being in person with each other. I don't know. For me, there, for sure.
I guess there really is only so much we can do, but the only other thing that I think that can change is if we can get Damon in here.
Yeah.
Because that's a group member we haven't been able to get in touch with. So only so much we can do, but we'll keep trying. See if we can.
Yeah, for sure.
Get her in here. Okay, so how does psychological safety in a team increase overall effectiveness, and what are the roles of communication and empathy?
Oh, I had a thought and then it went flying out. So like where he introduced the democratic leadership and everybody was feeling a part of it, and those are obviously very healthy teams. They functioned well, they achieved their goals, but their measure of what was effective changed when he changed the leadership from produce as much as possible to not being sick for him, Does that make sense at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think I have to start with like, how do you describe an effective team? And that's where you kind of set your goals and your image of what's a psychological safety conversation. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That makes sense. I definitely agree with that. It's the important with the psychological side of things that to feel, I guess, safe. To me, meaning the ability to, without fear of being criticized, or without stress of you're the one that has to pull the weight. Because if you don't feel that stress, that's a psychological safety. If you feel like you can be open with people with your ideas, that's another great safety. And that's where, as the article said, when people feel that, they start to be innovative and or quicker to be innovative, and are usually a lot more effective.
Yeah.
So,
all good points.
Mm-hmm. So, how does sharing personal experience and being vulnerable influence team dynamics? Think of the example of Sakaguchi. I'm bad with names like that. Trying to say them. So
Okay.
hopefully that was right.
We know what you meant.
Usually when I read over those in my head and I'm not actually having to talk out loud, I just come up with some random thing in my head of what I think it like sounded like, and just kind of go with it. I don't
totally do the same.
Do you have any personal examples of this in organizations you're involved in? So the questions were, how does sharing personal experience and being vulnerable influence team dynamics? And do you have any personal examples of this in organizations you've been involved?
Wait. Oh, I see. Yeah, I actually, part of what I wrote down again, that I have had like in in organizations you're involved in. Well, I'm not really in. I don't work in a team, obviously, but I do work in a very one-on-one relationship because I teach piano one-on-one to kids.
Oh.
So you can't be not real, not honest and authentic with a teenager. They don't take you seriously. So or a 6-year-old. Don't you can't pull one over on a 6-year-old as a teacher anyway. So I have actually used this technique with kids who are having a hard time getting through something, like especially as we come into performance time or recital time or state exams or anything like that. I've told stories of massive failures that I've had, or that one recital where everything fell apart and I had to get off the stage and get my music and get back up there and play it again. And those types of those moments of vulnerability allow my student to see that I'm being genuine, and they trust me more. So I'm more able to teach them. So I can see that applying to an organization where everybody is the teacher. Everybody is a vital part of the information sharing. So, being vulnerable and allowing other people to see that you are really being real and you're not just putting up a smokescreen, that you're a genuine person and you have your failures and you have your hard days, and you're still going to put as much as you can in.
Yeah.
Sorry. I went on for a really long time. Sorry. I'm going to be
So-
super self-conscious of that now for the next few lessons. I'm really sorry.
Oh, don't be. Well, what Natalie said earlier is about this being only the second group meeting, and if we keep doing meetings as time goes on, we'll get more comfortable with each other. Well, I think that's a lot of where personal experiences starts to influence the team dynamic, because sharing the personal experiences is the way that are ways that we get to ultimately know each other, even if it's about our school or our business, or even if it's completely on topic. Personal experiences helped us get to know each other, and which opens up vulnerability. So
Totally.
that's what I think about it. And where I do currently work in a team, and I've been working with this team for about 3 years now. And specifically what my team is it's called the Customer Solutions team. They call it that because we're not necessarily customer service. We kind of are, but kind of aren't. We provide safety training for other companies, occupational and employment safety. Like, people have to go through our courses, and specifically our team deals with people that are having trouble with the courses, whether they're students of companies or dealing directly with, because companies buy our material, and then they give that material to their own employees to train their employees. And so we deal directly with the customers is the big company that's purchasing the trainings, and then we also deal with their individual students that are having troubles with it. So I feel like that's a good dynamics for teamwork, because there's several of us in this team that have to deal with certain things. And when you're dealing with especially customer service, that's one where you'd kind of go crazy if you're by yourself, always having to deal with other people's problems. So so it is nice to, and I feel pretty close with the people that are on that team, and like I said, it's worked out pretty good. We don't do a lot of like I said, we don't do a ton of team building stuff, but we do go to lunch. Anytime I go back to my office in Washington, we all go out to lunch and stuff, and so
That's cool.
yeah.
And you were with that, blah, blah. You were with this team when you lived in Washington?
Yeah.
And you did team stuff then, building outside the office experiences.
We actually did, like I said, we didn't do a whole lot of team building outside of the office.
Not like team building, but like interaction. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Yeah, we didn't do a whole lot of that, but we did have occasional like office parties, and like in the summer we'd have like a huge barbecue, and we'd have a band come play, and that was like office wide. That wasn't just my team, but
okay,
still. But so there was a little bit.
That's cool though.
But mostly our team like came from just getting up and moving around, because we all work on the computer. So our boss is usually our team manager is usually pretty adamant to make sure that we are getting up and taking our 10-minute breaks and stuff, because you're not supposed to sit and stare at a computer for 8 hours straight. You're supposed to take at least 10 minutes every hour to get up and move around. So he encourages us getting up and communicating with each other, talking to each other. So
that's cool.
So those are ways that it's become personal, but with people. Natalie, do you have any team experience?
Yeah, I mean, the only team experience, well, so let's see. I'm gonna for work. So I used to work at a jewelry store, and then it's basically team building, but I mean, like we're all a team essentially. It's just like you just have to make, and especially when you're doing sales, that people could get a little bit competitive. So I guess that was like one of the issues that we kept on like going with like different kind of people. But other than that, it was a pretty good team. Basically, it's like you need communication. You need to be cautious of what you say. You want to be positive always. I mean, like in a sense of being positive, like, just like being friendly and stuff and not to be negative. And it's a workplace. So I don't know, like be professional too, and I don't know, express how you're feeling and stuff like that. So I think that's the only like experience that I have with team building. And I think with work, because like before work I didn't know anything really, and especially like the more that you stay there, it's the stronger the team becomes. And you could definitely tell like over time it started feeling more like a team than just like coworkers, because you could tell that we all need each other to be happy in the workplace. Yeah.
It's very true.
Well,
That's what it comes down to.
so now it's time for the $1 million question. What can you do as an individual to initiate effective team behavior?
This is hard. I found this really, really hard, but I do think it comes down to just being willing to being open and being careful not to run over other people's ideas. For me personally, I mean, that's because we lost Natalie.
Oh no.
Hopefully she can get back in.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically, not running over people's ideas and not talking too much and watching how much I talk and listening, focusing on listening.
Yeah. Well, this is why I called it the $1 million question, because it is a little bit more difficult and tricky of a question to say, what can you do, or what can I do specifically, like what are actions I can take to initiate good team behavior. That's quite something to think about. And I think one of the biggest things that you can do is have an interest in other people, have an interest in what they have to say, in their ideas, have an interest in their personal life. Like when whether it's at work, taking interest in my coworkers, or even in a small group like with you two, I think the best thing to do is show an interest, see what's going on.
This is true.
So because then I don't know, I would guess it would make you guys feel valued, and so
perhaps.
Yeah. That's how you can kind of take the initiative. But
are you back, Natalie? Did we lose you?
Yeah.
Or? Okay.
Yeah, but I'm
sorry.
For most of it.
Okay.
So what do you think, Natalie, about what's something specifically that specific actions that you can take to initiate good team behavior?
Something that could initiate team behavior. I guess just like kind of, I think overtime does build a lot, but then also, just, I don't know, just like talking to one another builds slowly over time. Yeah.
I think you're right about the time thing for sure. It takes time to get to know each other, especially people who are more reserved, which all of us seem to be. Reserved and full of little nervous tics.
Yeah. Okay. I had another idea, but now I completely lost. Okay, so the key concepts from our discussion today, I think, would be the communication and empathy. Getting to know each other, having respect for one another. I don't know what other things you guys think were key takeaways from today's discussion.
Well, I pretty much covered that. I don't think you can. It's a pretty pointed topic,
Yeah.
Especially after reading the case study, and it's like all these things they looked at, and it comes down to communication and empathy. Basically.
Yeah. Very true.
Jason's my thought. Sorry. not meaning to say we can't find other things, because there are definitely other things to find. I mean,
yeah. Well, this is kind of random, but in the spirit of getting to know each other, yesterday, my wife and I randomly decided that well, not really randomly. I don't know why I said random, but because it wasn't really random, because we've been wanting to get a dog for a while. So yesterday we started looking some up, and we found a breeder.
Awesome.
I'm just excited to share it with everybody because I love dogs. And so I find every excuse to bring it up.
No problem. What kind of dog?
We're looking at an Australian Shepherd.
Oh.
It'd be a good one.
They're very smart.
Yeah.
You have to be prepared for that.
My wife wanted a dog that was big enough to go run on the trail with her, run on like mountain trails with her and stuff. But yet we didn't want like a huge dog that's so big because I mean, we're not necessarily in an apartment. We're in a little townhome, but
yeah, not a lot of yard.
But yeah. So we didn't want something too big that's gonna suffer. But there's the puppy. That's the puppy litters that
so beautiful. I love their beautiful blue eyes. That's exciting. What kind of dog do you have, Natalie?
I have a lab.
Okay.
And then there's so right now I'm living. So I just moved here to Fresno, like the beginning of this month. So currently we're living with my husband's parents, and then they have 2 Yorkies, and then I have a cat. So yeah.
Yes, I love how vocal your cat is. It was cracking me up.
I know. I just have to say her name, Peaches.
That's adorable. Very cool.
That's actually that brought me to say that. Was I heard what sounded like dog walking around, so I was like, oh,
yeah,
I want a dog.
Well, you will have one soon, hopefully.
Well, the litter is being born in April, so it'll still be a couple months, but that's perfect because my wife is graduating this semester, so
nice. So she'll be
done with school, so
she'll have a buddy to go on runs.
Yeah, we figured by May would be a good timing for us.
That's cool.
Get a dog.
Yes, our current big dog was born April 15th, so we call him our tax refund.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
We have a border collie. Abnormally tall border collie. And the best part, okay, personal sharing. I totally have to share too. So the best part is we got our Charlie dog, and he's so great. His mom is very tall for a border collie, and I don't know, it was like a few months later or whatever, however long it takes for a dog. And the breeder met me. She's in our ward, and she met me in the parking lot. She's like, "Do you want another dog?" I was like, no. And she's like, oh, and she tells me her female jumped a 9-foot fence and came home with puppies.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And so my sister's dog was coming to the end of her life. And so my sister was wanting another dog before they had to put her down, so that for her daughter, because her daughter was only 3 and was very attached to the dog. So they wanted a companion for her. So we got this puppy, and they were thinking it was part blue heeler and part border collie. But when we got the puppy, we take it over there, and her husband is looking at the paws of that puppy, and he's like, "This is not a blue heeler." Ended up being part German Shepherd. So Max and Charlie are half brothers, and my sister comes out and stays with us a lot. So Max comes with her. And he is huge. You talk about not wanting a big dog, because that was one of her husband's requirements, is not a big dog. And yeah, he's massive. So my very tall jumping dog, he jumps fences too, which is not good. But yeah. So it's awesome. We're all dog owners, or soon to be dog owners. Dog people anyway.
But yeah, I love big dogs. Like, I want a German Shepherd, but we figured we'd probably wait a little bit for that until we actually have like a house. Now, we just wanted something like medium sized. So
that's awesome. All right.
Okay. Well,
did we do everything?
Yep. That was the whole discussion, and then a little bit about dogs for our professor at the end.
So we practiced it. We talked about it and practiced it.
Okay. Well, does anybody else have any last things they want to say, get off their chest, share?
Nope. I'm good.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay.
And the last word from Peaches.
Last word. So next week, probably make that plan too. So are we doing Wednesday at 9 again, or?
Well, do we want to go back to Thursday? Thursday does work better for me, but if we need to stay on Wednesday, I can make it work.
Either, as long as it's evening for me.
We could do, if I could do Thursday. What's good to me, it doesn't matter. So just whatever. Today, I just needed it to be today.
Oh, hello, Kate. Yeah, Thursday works best for me. If we have some flexibility.
Yeah, well, Thursday.
Okay. Thursday at 9.
Yeah, if that's okay.
Okay.
I feel like I'm being bossy.
Nope.
Sorry. It's just because I'm West Coast, so I'm actually don't want to wake my family up by being on here. The only computer that has a webcam is in the middle of the house, so I can't. Shared house. Middle of the shared house. So it's a bit intense.
Okay, well, that's fine by me. We'll also try and reach out to Jamin again and see if we can get her involved.
Do we want to try and reach out to the instructor and see if there's like a phone number that we could reach her at, or?
Yeah. I wonder.
Suppose, that's a good idea. Suppose we could.
Okay. You want me to do that?
Sure.
Okay.
Great. Are you the group leader next week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, I should probably write that down before I forget. So thank you, everyone.
Yep.
Good to see you all. Good luck
Yep. Bye.
See you again in a week.
in a week. Bye-bye.
Bye.